At the foot of the huge peaks of the Himalayas is Pokhara. It is from here that we begin our journey through Nepal. At one time, this high valley contained 7 freshwater lakes named Pokhari, and they gave this holiday paradise its present-day name. In the past, Pokhara was an important trading link between India and Tibet, but the trading of salt and wool came to an end after Tibet closed its doors to the outside world. Its population is extremely tolerant, and both the Buddhist and Hindu faiths exist side by side. The Devi's waterfall disappears into the ground and, after 200 meters, emerges again to unite with the Seti. The second largest lake in Nepal owes its dimensions to a dam at its eastern end, and small rowing boats are available for hire. Whether Mount Everest or Annapurna, the mountains fascinate everyone. The Himalayas are also known as the roof of the world. Nepal is a fascinating country, a mix of jungle and everlasting ice. In 1973, the Royal CHITWAN Park became the first Nepalese nature reserve, 100 years after the inauguration of Yellowstone Park. True adventures. A safari by elephant. The mahuts skillfully lead the ambling giants through the bush. Travelling through the jungle on the back of an elephant offers good protection from rhinoceroses and other predators. The elephant is a safe means of transport. But jeep safaris are also a particularly useful feature of the park and enable travel through dense forests. Today, the national park is the biggest tourist attraction. The courageous are constantly on the lookout for wild animals. We travel by boat on the Narayani River. Here there are crocodiles and dolphins. If we're lucky, we may actually spot them. The evening sun sets slowly above the wide river. Kathmandu, melting pot of both race and religion, a metropolis in the heart of the Kingdom of Nepal. In the centre of the city is the ancient palace of Hanuman Dhoka, part of which is restricted from the public. The home of the gods is vibrant, yet reflective. More than 700,000 people live in the metropolis of Earth's most ancient kingdom. It was only a few decades ago that ancient Nepal opened up its borders. Until then, due to the command of the ruling Gurkha Dynasty, the home of the divine was totally isolated. Kumari Chowk is the residence of the living goddess Kumari, who is duly selected from childhood. She's not allowed to leave here until puberty. The foundation of Kathmandu, formerly known as Kantipur, took place during the first third of the 8th century. This majestic city was at its zenith between the 16th and 18th centuries. Day and night there is much activity in the narrow alleys and streets of the old town. Kathmandu has grown so much that only the holy Bagmati River now separates it from Patan. Patan, City of Beauty, Nepal's second largest city, has retained much of its original character due to its 300 monasteries and temples. Patan is one of the oldest settlements in Kathmandu Valley, and during the 15th century was the capital of one of 3 kingdoms. 2 huge lions guard the entrance of the former royal palace, which originated from a monastery complex. But when Prithvi Narayan Shah conquered the ancient realms, Patan soon lost its political significance. Each of the ruling dynasties built the various Buddhist and Hindu pagodas and altars according to their religious belief. Here, religion is all. The tower-like Mahabuddha temple is adorned with several terracotta figures and ornaments and is different to conventional Nepalese architecture. In earlier times, the Kwa Bahal monastery was the administrative centre of trade in Tibet. Its shining gilded copper plates soon gave it the name Golden Temple. Today, besides the temple guards, nobody lives in the houses around the courtyard of the complex, which is guarded by golden figures of Buddha. Bhaktapur is the third ancient regal city of the 30-kilometre-long Kathmandu Valley that has always been a prosperous trading route between China, Tibet and India. Through the Golden Gate of Dhoka is the old royal palace complex. On the edge of Durbar Square is the Palace of 55 Windows, a masterpiece of traditional wood carving. During a large earthquake in 1933, several temples collapsed and had to be completely rebuilt. The elongated and slightly sloping Takapala Tole Square is dominated by the huge 3-story Dattatreya Mandir Pagoda. In a nearby alley is a building that was constructed in typical Nerwa style and features the famous peacock window. On the Square of the Potters, everything is created from the black clay of the potters and immediately offered for sale. Bhaktapur was featured in Bertolucci's Little Buddha. Located on a 1,400-metre hill, SWAYAMBHUNATH is a Buddhist monastery complex and one of the most interesting sites in Nepal. Endless rows of prayer mills and religious images are the instruments of the people's deep faith. Many legends relate to the establishment of this sacred place that dates back to the earliest origins of Kathmandu Valley that was once a lake. A yard containing votive stupas contrasts well with the huge buildings. The closely packed, tiny stone towers look like a miniature forest. Side by side, numerous gods are worshipped here. Northeast of Kathmandu is the temple complex of Pashupatinath. For the followers of the Hindu religion, this is the most holy place in Nepal. The faithful burn their dead on the banks of the Bagmati River, and to close the circle of nature, scatter the ashes of the deceased into its waters. Further upstream, the faithful take a ritual bath and sacrifice flowers to the gods, but there is much controversy about the value of this. The sadhus are holy men. They have given up worldly life and have long beards and wild-looking hair. Even the Tibetan queen supports the maintenance of this temple city, and each year contributes a very generous donation. The devoted worship and utter prayers. The caste system and religious hierarchies have no legal foundation here, but they form the basis of the country's social structure. Bodhnath is the home of the monks that were driven out of Tibet by the Chinese. This small city is the center of the Buddhist faith, Little Tibet. The temple is surrounded by spacious dwellings with carved wooden windows, an indication of the past wealth enjoyed here due to its location on the most important trading route to Tibet. China claimed Tibet as its own. Consequently, the Dalai Lama left the country, followed by many monks. Statues of white elephants and their riders flank the steps of the three pedestals, which lead to the base of the stupa that has the exact form, a white hemisphere. The eyes of Buddha constantly watch over the faithful, who feel protected here and are able to practice their religion without constraint. Hundreds of colourful prayer banners adorn the sacred building that was originally the burial place and sacred storage area of the relics of the historical Buddha. Changu Narayan, the gem of Nepal, designated as a World Heritage Site by UNESCO, and the oldest sanctuary in Kathmandu Valley. Situated 1,450 metres on a mountain north of Bhaktapur, this village is home to many skillful artists and woodcarvers. Highly decorated masks and dolls are also offered to the faithful pilgrims. Agriculture also has an important role to play in this region. This was an early place of worship for the god Vishnu, who in the guise of Narayan was creator of a new universal age. The sacred temple complex overlooks the entire Kathmandu Valley and can be seen from everywhere. An earthly residence of the gods. The small Nerwa town of Sanku is just as it was a century ago. It lies at the foot of a mountain range that was once traversed by ancient caravan routes. The prosperity of this former trading centre was at its height many years ago, and today it's a quiet, sleepy town. Hidden in a canyon and located on top of a mountain creek, Dakshin Kali stands guard over the valley. But its idyllic appearance is deceptive. This wonderful place is dedicated to the bloody goddess Kali. This is a place of constant hustle and bustle, but the temple of the goddess Kali is not popular with everyone. On Tuesdays and Saturdays, animals are brought here for slaughter. The lighting of the fumigants is the prelude to ritual sacrifices. Here, chickens and goats are butchered during the daily allotted days of sacrifice. During this time, it's best for animal lovers and those of a sensitive disposition to avoid this area, as the complex becomes a place of ritual slaughter and the spilling of blood. The head of each animal is severed by a special priest in front of an image of the goddess Kali. The animal's blood is sacrificed to the goddess and served at a public dinner in nearby meadows. Sometimes the rush for food is almost overwhelming. On a small hill, there is a temple dedicated to Kali's mother, for whom sacrifices are also made. The people here hope that their wishes come true, and at the same time, that an unhappy soul will be freed from its incarnation as an animal. Due to its location, Kirtipur is one of the most charming Nerwa towns in Kathmandu Valley. The elongated city of Kirtipur was built in around 1099 AD. Initially, it was an independent kingdom and subsequently became a fortified city. The The strategically positioned, fortified city was once surrounded by a wall. Repeatedly, its people successfully repelled enemy attack. But in the year 1766, Prithvi Narayan Shah and his Gurkha troops succeeded in conquering the city and forced its inhabitants to surrender. These proud people were severely punished for their courageous resistance. The men of Kirtipur had their noses cut off. Thus the name City of the Noseless. The famous Chobar Canyon is negotiated via precarious chain-link bridge. Legend has it that the Bodhisattva Manjushri cut this canyon with his sword to drain the lake that once filled Kathmandu Valley. Panauti is located at the junction of two rivers that were once the crossing point of important trading routes. Nearly all of its historical centre has been well maintained, and its inhabitants enjoy a rural way of life. Even today, a number of fascinating buildings and large temples in which thousands of people once made sacrifices demonstrate the former glory of this intriguing city. At the eastern end of the town of Panepa is the Kandasvari Mandir, a tranquil temple complex on the edge of what is now a modern town. The high quality of these wooden carvings more than compensates for the gold and rich colours of other temples in this region. Legend has it that this place was once ruled by the buffalo demon Kand, who was subsequently defeated by Parvati. Our final destination, Dhulikhel. This idyllic village is situated at an altitude of 1,650 meters above sea level, at the end of the valley on the road to Tibet. Compared with the liveliness of Kathmandu, Dhulikhel is like a ghost town. Here, life in the mountains is meditational. This Nerwar town was also an important destination on the trading route to Tibet. Today, the tourist industry is slowly beginning to have an effect here. The customs of the people in the kingdom on the roof of the world may seem somewhat strange, but this land of jungle and eternal snow has developed according to its own rich traditions and beliefs. The mysterious Hindu realm of Nepal is one of the last paradises on earth, a once forbidden land located between India and China. The evening sun goes down slowly on the snow-covered Himalayas. The journey through this fairy tale land ends here, at the foot of these mighty giants, amidst a wonderful world in which the gods are still very much alive.